Hello Terraria enthusiasts, my name is James, and now a few weeks ago I tried out a new format for the channel by giving audiences 10 really interesting facts about a specific area of the game, and you lot gave some really great feedback, and today we're hitting back with 10 things you may not know about bosses in Terraria. Now, bosses are a key feature in Terraria that give the player both a new and fresh challenge and a new way to progress through the game. And when Terraria was released, there were only actually 3 bosses in the game. Now, before I get into the bulk of facts, here are a quick few lightning facts. There are currently 15 main bosses in the game and 3 extra bosses for mobile and console players. There are 11 mini bosses that show up during various events and range from the Pumpkin to the Solar Pillar. So with that out of the way, let's begin.
10.
Starting off in the number 10 spot, have you ever wondered how the developers name some of the bosses? Well, 3 of the bosses in the game are actually using portmanteaus to give the boss a unique name. For example, the Everscream boss is a portmanteau of Evergreen and Scream, and for the twins, Retinator is a portmanteau of Retina and Laser, and Spasmatism is a portmanteau of Astigmatism and Spasm. So now when you hear their names, you can fully appreciate their origins. Just don't read into the Morning Wood boss.
9.
Now here is a quick fact for Zelda fans. The original design for Terraria's final boss was originally going to be a giant falling moon that players would most likely have to kill before the moon hit the ground. Anyone getting vibes of Majora's Mask? However, it was confirmed before release that the team were going to go with another design, which later became the Moon Lord. Now, I don't know how this boss would have functioned. I mean, if the player dug away the ground, would they have more time to kill the boss? What would it attack you with? Maybe a star cannon, that'd be cool.
8.
So talking about Nintendo bosses, the Brain of Cthulhu was most likely inspired by the giant floating brain from Star Fox 64, which would appear in the final boss fight, which had the ability to teleport and gave the player the confusion buff by warping the screen. Now this one isn't confirmed, but come on, how similar does that sound?
7.
So this fact is more of a continuity error than a real fact, but it definitely makes the list. So in the PC edition of Terraria, during the Eye of Cthulhu boss fight, players can hear the Boss Battle 1 music. However, in the mobile and console editions, you can actually hear the Boss Battle 4 music. Now maybe this was done by the development team so they didn't have to use more space by adding an extra song, but something about this just doesn't seem right. I mean, it seems like such an easy thing that could be fixed.
6.
So you know how bosses in Terraria can drop a trophy on death? Well, any farmer may already know this, but there are actually 2 available trophies after the twins fight, one for both of the eyes. This is unlike most bosses in the game, but definitely fits the theme of them being twins.
5.
One of the toughest bosses in the game, and definitely one that uses the most memes, was actually announced in secret during an April Fool's joke. That's right, Duke Fishron was actually part of an April Fool's joke created by Senex and the team that laid out plans for a new aquatic horde mode that would come and destroy players' creations. And now since most of the post was complete trolling, players brushed it off as a joke, but were pleased to see that the Sharknado wielding Duke Fishron actually made the cut.
4.
So now I've mentioned Senex, it's time for the one fact I feel like most players have already been made aware of, and that is the origins of the boss Plantera, and how it was named after Senex's favourite band, Pantera. But did you also know that the trophy for defeating Plantera, which reads The Great Southern Plant Kill, is actually based on their album, The Great Southern Trend Kill?
3.
Getting sweet loot from a boss is one of the most satisfying feelings in the game, but did you know that the Queen Bee actually drops the most unique items in the game, consisting of 14 items? This includes 3 bee weapons, the Hive Wand, a 3-piece vanity set, 1 pet, 1 mount, bee nades, bottled honey, beeswax, queen bee mask and a trophy, and 1 exclusive expert mode accessory. Now that's definitely a lot of great loot.
2.
Now, we've spoken a lot about bosses' names in this list, and this is definitely the last time. So you know the Lunatic Cultist, right? Well, he was actually intended to be called the Ancient Cultist, and this can be seen on the trophy which drops after death. Now, one quick bonus fact, the Lunatic Cultist is the smallest boss in the game.
1.
Now, how many of you have been affected by the Dungeon Guardian jump scare by being a little bit too risky and falling into the dungeon in hopes of an early water bolt? Well, in the first release of Terraria, instead of a dungeon guardian, the game would keep spawning Skeletron heads, and if you could kill one of them, you could enter the dungeon. Now this wasn't meant to happen, they were meant to kill you and force you to fight Skeletron. Now to fix the issue, Red added the Dungeon Guardian, which is a hell of a lot more ruthless, and doesn't interfere with the Skeletron fight. But the story doesn't stop there. The Dungeon Guardian was meant to be completely undefeatable, but after Euromir proved it could be done, which he does a lot, they added a tiny Skeletron head pet to those who could take down this flying demon. So that's about it for today's facts, and now if you'd like to see something specific covered in the next episode, be sure to leave your comments and suggestions down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button. By clicking that button, you'll be given exclusive access to the latest Terraria videos as soon as they are released, directly to your homepage. And if you're not done binge watching Terraria videos yet, why not click here to learn about 5 items that are currently unobtainable in Terraria? It's a really great list. So that's it for today's video. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.